welcome back. My name is Monica. For those of you who are new to this channel, I basically provide you with real life expertise on how to move and successfully live abroad. Today, I am going to be talking about a question that I actually get quite often, and that is, how can I afford to travel to so many countries? I would say the majority of my experience have all been paid for me to be able to travel abroad. This is by no means a coincidence. I obviously seek opportunities to move abroad, whether it be in the former Republic of Georgia or in Argentina or in France. And whether I am in the United States, I am always trying to seek opportunities in which I can continuously travel abroad through my American company. I'm going to be giving you 4 ways in which you can get paid to travel abroad today. All right, so first on my list are NOMAD visas. I have gone into great length discussing what a NOMAD visa is and what countries are currently allowing foreigners to go into their countries to work remotely. I would say this is by far one of the easiest ways to go about it if you currently have a job that you can just take from your computer. I discuss this in depth within 2 videos, so definitely check this out if you're really interested in pursuing a NOMAD visa. So, second on the list, a business proposal. Like, what? What are you talking about? I always seek job opportunities that have some level of international relations involved within it. Now, let's say that you're currently in your job position, you kind of want to expand in your role, you're not quite ready to take the leap and look for another job, but you want to make it work, whereas you're able to travel with your current position, trying to seek opportunities to go abroad. Now, that's where a business proposal is going to come in handy. Let's dive in as to what a business proposal entails and how you should go about creating one. So first, conduct a SWOT analysis for your company. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So strengths and weaknesses are the internal strengths and weaknesses of your company. Opportunities and threats are what's going on the exterior. So looking at what other companies are doing, ways in which they are threatening your business, or in opportunities in which you can really dive into certain markets. So this definitely leads me into that second piece. Looking at emerging markets to either build or grow partnerships. This is key. For instance, you completed that SWOT analysis. Look at the opportunities and threats the most, because this is actually looking externally, right? Where are you lacking, and where are some areas in which your organization can really grow? Start with the BRIC economy. So this stands for Brazil, Russia, India, and China. These are the emerging markets. They have been for quite some time. I know that these are actually shifting a little bit. I know Vietnam is a huge emerging market for a lot of industries, but obviously, given this past year and some change, really evaluate what your company has been going through and ways in which you can really kind of expand. I only started with BRIC, but for instance, let me give you a sheer example of how I utilize emerging markets to my benefit. I used to work for a university that only specialized in architecture. I basically Googled what countries have a large industry for architecture. I found out that Uruguay was a key stakeholder for this industry. Students at basically the equivalent of like sophomore, freshman in high school have to really decide what they want to study as a profession. At a very young age, there are students that are trying to pursue architecture as a long-term career. I myself, working in international admissions for a university in the United States, wanted to dive into Uruguay in order to recruit students to come to the US. Boom. Did I make it happen? Absolutely. Did they send me to every single country almost in South America because of this? Yes, because I put together a very lavish business proposal. So let's continue on to the next steps. All right, so let's say you have your SWOT analysis all prepared. You have looked at the emerging markets specific to your industry. Again, Google whatever your industry is and emerging markets, and you'll be able to find something to help you out. Now, this is kind of the tedious part. You have to put all of this research together in a very nice professional looking portfolio. So I would first start by putting together an overview. Asking to go abroad on your employer's dime is a huge ask. So you want to put everything very concisely in a summary or an overview on your first page. After that, demonstrate your SWOT analysis. Maybe you have some ideas that they've never thought about. So you want to include that within your proposal so that it helps, bolster your argument, right, to go abroad for that. As well, you should also include some conferences to attend. This is always great to include as a professional development for yourself. You'll be networking with people in your industry and some opportunities to actually extend your, brand awareness or brand recognitions to those countries in a way is definitely going to help bolster your business proposal. Of course, you should always include a graph or chart. It just makes it look a little bit more professional, easier to read, and it's only going to help your employer kind of visualize everything that you're trying to say. Lastly, and most importantly, you should always include a budget to support your plane. How much are flights? How much are hotels? How much is that conference going to be? Next, you got to schedule an appointment with your supervisor, right? You got to talk this through, present all of your findings for your case. You put all this time into making this proposal, you really got to present it, right? And no matter what your supervisor says, whether it's a hell yes, let's go tomorrow, or you know what, right now with the budget, it's not a good time. You doing this and proposing this on your own is just an overall good look for you. You spent the time to kind of think about the organization on your own time. You're forward thinking in terms of trying to expand on a global scale. It's not a bad look in general. So the fact that you made that risk to even talk to your supervisor about this opportunity is really going to help you out in the long run. Last but not least, always send a thank you email after you have this conversation with your supervisor. You present it to him, her, or them. I just would say tie it up nicely with a bow and seal the deal with a nice thank you note, no matter how the conversation went, because they may reconsider. It's just a nice thing to do. Always. So that is business proposal. All right, next. So this is for people who are currently looking for positions abroad. I myself was able to work in the former Republic of Georgia and in Argentina through teaching English as a second language. We are in a global economy. Languages are emerging, people wanting to speak Chinese, Arabic, Spanish, French. It's endless. So teaching online is definitely a doable opportunity for you. You could also teach in person. There's a lot of countries that are doing that. I think right now it's a little bit tricky. Each country is working on a very different cycle. So just be cognizant of that. But being able to teach online, there's a lot of resources that I can include down below that a few of my friends are actually doing, and they're profiting very well through teaching English online. Finally, we have house or pet sitting. Now, this is a very, lucrative opportunity. You basically get to live in someone's house while they're gone, either just house sitting, taking care of their plants while they're on vacation, or taking care of a pet. So it's like a cat, dog, like bunnies. This is so fun. I myself haven't gone down this route, but I have been looking to it extensively as a means to basically travel for free. These are paid positions, some of them, and I'm going to include all of these resources below for you to review. So not only do you get to live in some cool places, play with some awesome animals, you get paid for it. So that's cool. So thanks again, everyone, for joining me today. This is basically how I could afford to go so many times abroad, and that job proposal. If any of you need any more guidance as to kind of curating it, or if you want to talk with me to discuss how to present it to your supervisor, I have my email down below. Feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to kind of walk you through that whole process to curating your business proposal to go abroad. Thanks again for joining me today. I hope this was really useful for you, and go out and prosper. Never spend a dime on travel again.